The unsurpassed, penetrating and perfect truth is seldom met with, even in 100,000 myriad kalpas. Now we can see and hear it. We can remember and accept it. I vow to make the Buddha's truth one with myself. Homage to the Buddha, homage to the Dharma, homage to the Sangha. Don't take it personally. I found myself saying this all the time to people. I talk to people a lot about their relationships, their difficulties and all that, and I constantly find myself saying, don't take it personally. When we have a disagreement with somebody, or an unpleasant exchange, or there's someone you just can't seem to get along with, just no matter what you do or say, it always seems to go badly, misunderstanding and stuff. Or we think somebody hates us. Maybe they do hate us, or they're out to get us, or we hate them and we're out to get them, When you feel unfairly treated, overlooked, not looked over, blamed for something we didn't do, passed by, not taken seriously, looked down upon, all kinds of situations. I just thought of a few of them. I think there's a zillion things in which we could say, don't take it personally. Well, most of these situations feel extremely personal. We think somebody hates us, Indeed, sometimes they actually meant personally. The person hates me, not somebody else. And yet the advice still holds true. Don't take it personally. In the teeth of all seeming evidence. When we get an angry, irritated response from somebody, it might be that they're upset about something completely different. It's nothing to do with us. And we just happen to be the person who's standing there, And that's often the case, because when we think about ourselves and our own actions and reactions, how often is it that we're just irritable? We're annoyed by little things, just because we're crabby, not because of the person. Just find, or we're upset about something else, it's nothing to do with the thing. We don't feel well, we're in pain, Nothing to do with the person we're judging or being annoyed by. So if you can remember, that goes the other way too, and that the angry person or the seemingly judging person or whatever it is, maybe they're upset about something else and nothing to do with me. Maybe they're in pain or not feeling well or whatever. And it helps us even to bear that in mind, that it might be the case. It may not be me. It really helps us to let it go and not take it personally, not carry around a grievance because this person said something, even if they didn't mean it, or they wish they hadn't, or whatever, or they apologize. Some of us have a genius for carrying around a large, a heavy, remarkably impressive load of resentment. Anyway, I find it very helpful myself, when I get an angry response, or something hasn't gone well, to consider, maybe it isn't about me. Maybe there's something else going on with this person. Or maybe I did say or do something that provoked this irritable response. Maybe I said something clumsy or unhelpful or unkind unintentionally or just thoughtless, and I could have done it better, So I have to consider that too. It's not just, the poor dear is probably not feeling well, but did I do something dumb? Was I tactless? Was I, just not kind somehow? Was I just thoughtless and just brushing somebody off without thinking because I'm thinking about something else? It happens. Because I need to take responsibility for my part in something that has not gone well. And not just say, just don't take it personally, not just brush it off. What did I do? Did I do something there? And not to get all upset about it. When there's dislike or even hatred, it's very hard not to take it personally. Our interactions with the other person that seem never to go well, or sort of glaring at us, It's hard not to take it personally. Sometimes it seems, as I said, we just can't get along with each other. We just cannot understand each other. Every time we have an interaction, it seems to go poorly. No matter how hard we try, or they try, it doesn't seem to go well. Misunderstandings, blame, we can't see the good in the other person, they can't see the good in us, and all that. And even in this, there are probably karmic reasons for this. Reasons for this dislike or this seeming hatred. Maybe there's karmic causes from lifetimes ago that we don't see. Sometimes people do see it. Oh, that's why I can't get along with this person. There's been lives of mutual bashing, Or things from this life. I did something that really upset this person and they've never been able to let it go. Or I've never been able to let it go. And even here, we can see maybe that it may not be actually about so-called me. I just seem to be the vehicle, as it were. It's something that happened a long time ago, that began a long time ago. It's not really a me that's continuing this, that goes from life to life, because there isn't a me, unchanging me that goes from life to life. I did this awful thing, or they did it to me. Really, it's just we pick up the karma of that. And furthermore, even in this very lifetime it's the case. Many years ago, a person, I think it was Meian, did something, or something happened to them, but that person isn't the same me anymore. I have the karma of that person I call Meian, but actually it's not the same me anymore. I've changed. I'm not the same person. Or my cells are different, my brain is different, my mind is different. We try to change, we try to work on ourselves, and the seeming me that continues through life is not the reality, as the Buddha keeps pointing out to us, most kindly. So, even when there's ill will, mutual dislike, things aren't going well, we still don't have to take it personally, because actually there's something much deeper than that, We can see it as karma we need to sit still with, not something I have, something out to get me, but how do I learn from this? How do I deal with this? With compassion, as much compassion as we can muster. What do I learn from this? Where was there a mistake made? Whether by what I think of as me, or some being whose karma I may have inherited, or somebody else completely. Oh, there must have been a mistake there. Maybe I can do it differently. Maybe I can try and have a kind heart for this person. Maybe I can try and understand. Even if I can't understand, to just not get a me in there that gets all hurt, like putting myself in the way of the arrow. Here's another arrow. Oh, I see it. We can just kind of let it go by, Not blaming the other person, not blaming myself, not judging either them or me. Easy to say, hard to do, as we know, we say this all the time. But if we can just see that there's a kind of innocence there, Most people don't want to harm each other, and even when they do, there are reasons for that. Probably they've been harmed themselves. And if you can just kind of bear that in mind and not attach a hurt me to things, it really helps us with the suffering. What about prejudice? When you feel judged or looked down upon because we're a woman, or we're old, or we're young, or we're Asian, or we're black, or we're Hispanic, or whatever it might be, judged for something, judged for our accent, our class, our country of origin. So many things we can be judged for that are merely outward characteristics. Can we not take it personally when you feel judged because of these things? Oh, I'm a Brit. Somebody's had trouble with Brits in the past, Maybe I don't have to take it personally. And if you can do that and not take it too personally, it helps with the hurt. Because somebody is seeing us in a very narrow way. And we do this too. Seeing the person in a narrow way. Because they don't know us. They don't know what we're like. Maybe they haven't met many Brits or Hispanics or whatever, Maybe I might have seen a few old people and young people and a few, women or men or whatever. They've probably seen a few. However, sometimes people just don't understand, or they don't know what it's like, or they just see us in this little narrow window. This is a such and such. And if they knew us, they wouldn't do that at all, because we know. When you know somebody, you get to know them, that all falls away. You just see them as a human being. You don't see them as this thing, And we know that if people knew us, they wouldn't treat us that way. It's just fear and ignorance that's really causing that prejudice. So if you can not take it personally, it helps with the hurt. It may not take it away, but it can help with that, Just somebody, they don't understand us. We might need to stand up for ourselves, might need to say something or do something, and sometimes it's good just to let it go by. Things are different. But if you know that it's just fear and ignorance and it's not really personal at all, it helps a lot with that pain that we might have. What about the positive things? We talk about the negative things, feeling judged and all that. What about when you succeed at something, or we're praised for something? For some of us, it might be harder to let go of attachment to that. Oh, I succeeded. I've been praised. Look at the Olympics. People are busting themselves to try to outcompete everybody else in ways ridiculous. It doesn't make you a better person because you can run faster than another person, but never mind. They'll have to do it. But it kind of puts the thing in a bit of perspective, The seeking after praise, success, fame, and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes it's harder to let go of those things than it is to let go of the criticism, the blame, and all that. And for some of us, it's the other way around. We forget all the praise and the nice things people say to us to go right by us, but we never forget what somebody has said to us years and years ago. Or we never forget that judgment of us, and we blame ourselves, or we think we're still like that, The way somebody has treated us, or spoken of us, or spoken to us many years ago, we can still carry around and see ourselves in that way, inadvertently. Oh, I still feel like a stupid person because my family told me I was stupid when I didn't do something right when I was a child. This happens a lot. People just don't realize how sensitive children can be, or young people. And if you're constantly told you're failing, or you're not good enough, or you're not living up to the family expectations or whatever, it's really hard to get over that and stand on your own feet and see your own worth, But it's the same thing, praise and blame, the 8 worldly conditions, gain and loss, fame and disgrace, praise and blame, elation and sorrow. They're all the same thing, just different sides of the coin. But if we don't take them personally, it really helps a lot. When we're praised, when we're blamed, when we get something, when we lose something, when we're disgraced, If we can not take it too personally and just say, oh, okay, here's another thing. Let's see if we can figure out why I'm in this situation and learn from it, Well, there's a whole lot more to this, don't take it personally. We don't have to take our feelings personally. We don't have to identify with them. Whether they're hurt feelings or angry feelings or joyful feelings or elation or sorrow, whatever, when we're cast down by failure or buoyed up by success, we don't have to take them personally and make them ours, I am the successful person, I am the dismal failure or whatever. And that's how we accept these 8 worldly conditions and not get blown around by them. Just don't take them personally. This is just how life is. The 8 worldly conditions never go away. They're always with us. They're always blowing. And they blow here, they blow there. They're temporary. Wind doesn't blow forever. Blows one way, blows another. And we don't have to take it personally, We can just try to accept whatever comes our way and learn from it. Why am I over here blown into this corner of disgrace, or blown over into this corner of something of misery and self-blame and all that? Because we've let the thing push us around. We've taken it personally. There's an excellent book by Ajahn Sumedho, whom many of us know and love. He was the disciple of Ajahn Chah, who brought the Thai forest tradition, the Theravada Thai forest tradition, to the West. They're really, a very well-respected lineage. And he was responsible for bringing it to the West. Remarkable person. And he wrote a book called Don't Take Your Life Personally. And of course, the title says it all. In a sense, if you really understood it, you wouldn't need to read the book. But the book is really good. I strongly recommend it because it goes into great depth about why You don't need to take your life personally. And how it really helps with the suffering we create for ourselves, or the suffering we think other people have created for us, which really we've taken to ourselves, is wonderful. It's very profound, and it completely undercuts this whole idea of a self. Don't take your life personally. There's no self to take personally. And he explains this and goes through it. Really helpful. When you feel sad or angry or happy or upset or whatever it might be, judged, well, we don't have to identify with those feelings. I am happy, I am afraid, I am upset, and so on. I am the person who's been judged. I am the person who succeeded at this thing. Ajahn Sumedho talks about awareness, and this is the basic thing. Awareness. It's not like I am a nice aware person. It's more like paying attention, being aware of what's going on. It's not some special thing. Awareness sounds like some special state of mind that we never get. Awareness. I'm going to be an aware person. I'm going to practice awareness. Awareness? Where is it? And actually, all it means is just my little mind here, me just sitting here, paying attention to what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, what's going on with myself, or what's going on around me. Simply being present. It's not rocket science. It's not some woo-woo wonderful thing that we're never going to attain, some mystical state of awareness. It's just simply being here and paying attention. Very simple. With our ordinary mind, when there's upset, we can see it. We can consider, seem to be upset. Why is that? Or just, there's upset. Just sit still with it, Rav Masajiu used to say, that which perceives error is not itself in error. I didn't get this for years. What is she on about? That which perceives the error is not itself in error. Finally I got it. When we notice that, say we're annoyed, well, there's a little bit of us that notices that. I'm getting annoyed here. And that little bit of us is our awareness that is not pulled into it. Well, look at that. I'm getting irritated. Wonder why. Or there is annoyance, without having to be a me in it. But mostly it's just, what is it? Why am I upset? Why am I afraid? Why am I suddenly despondent? Or just noticing these little states of mind. We don't even need to know why they are, really. Sometimes, the nameless dread hits. We don't know what it is, we don't know where it comes from, just the nameless dread. And when you notice that, there's the nameless dread again. We don't have to be moved by it. And that bit of us that is not falling into it is the awareness. It's not dreading, it's just noticing. There's the nameless dread. It's so helpful, immeasurably helpful to see this, to say, there it is. There's despair, there's irritation, there's self-blame, there's taking judgment on myself. Me. And just noticing what the mind does, It's a lot easier to let it go than if we just fall right in and believe in it. Oh my goodness, I'm so cross. Oh, it's so awful. Look what that person did. Oh. If you just think, look at that, I'm getting annoyed, then we can let it go, It's just a little annoyance. It's not something we have to believe in. This is immeasurably helpful, immeasurably so. We kind of see through it, seem to be crabby this morning. Let's be careful. Don't blame everybody for everything that I notice, because actually it's me. It's me. It's not that they're all out to annoy me. No, it's me. Helpful. We don't have to make it ours, my state of mind, my annoyance, my this, that, and the other thing. Just, irritation. I don't have to make it mine and own it and completely believe in it. It's just here. Here is fear. Here is irritation. Here is despair. Here is worry, It's often easier said than done because we don't pay that kind of attention all the time. We fall right into our irritation or our despair or whatever it is and start sort of drowning in it and not realizing, this isn't the reality. I don't have to. It's not like we're pushing it away and pretending it's not there. It's more like noticing it and ceasing to make it ours, like my thing, or something I really need to get upset about, getting upset about or upset, or angry because we're angry and all that. Just to notice it. Very, very helpful. And not to judge it, not to judge ourselves, because we tend to fall into anger or despair or whatever it might be that is our misery of choice. There was a whole lot more to this, don't take it personally. There's the whole teaching of no separate self, anatta. And this is exactly what this don't take it personally is pointing to. There's nothing to take personally, there's no person to take it personally. There really isn't a separate person that's being hurt or judged or whatever it might be, or praised, There's feeling. There is feeling, but we don't have to make it ours. As it's said, feeling is the reaper of karma. Very helpful. And karma is not personal. Like gravity is not personal. Karma just works, So there's feeling because of something that was said or done, either by what I think it was me or somebody else or something in the distant past. But what I need to do is to sit still with it and not take the ball and run with it, as it were. Oh, I'm being judged. Oh, I've been awful. Oh, I made a stupid mistake. Oh, this person's blaming me. Or whatever it might be. Just to say, there is feeling. There is upset. There is disquiet. There's feeling bad about something, or worried, or angry, or whatever it might be. Maybe to see, why is that? And then think, I said something unskillful to that person. I just saw a little cloud cross their face. Or whatever it might be. To see, why is it that there's this upset? Not just blindly think, oh, well, it's not personal, But to actually pay attention and see, why is that? Did I say something? Do something? We still have to be kind of a me, because it doesn't work to say, oh, there is no me, there is no person here. We still have to get by and live our life and be the person who's feeding us, There's another saying about karma. No doer is there who does the deed, nor is there one who feels the result. There's nobody doing these things, and there's nobody feeling the consequences, because there isn't a person really there. No separate, solid person there. And we're still completely responsible for everything we do. Both are completely true at the same time. All is one and all is different. It's not like, well, there's no person here, so I can do what I want, whoever I think I am, It's not like that at all. It's more like, there may not be no person here, but still, this, whatever this is completely responsible for what it does, says, and thinks. Well, it's helpful to contemplate these things, but we can't really explain them, and we can't completely understand them with the intellect. And if we try to figure it all out, it just makes an obstruction. So I talk about all this stuff, but really, what's really more helpful is to sit still with it all and contemplate it. Just consider. Don't take it personally, Really helpful to come back to that without making a whole complicated scenario for ourselves. But just, getting upset, having an altercation with somebody, having a problem with somebody, feeling misunderstood, misjudged, missed everything. Don't take it personally, Just as things happen, maybe I can see why, but I don't have to try and figure everything out or figure out how does it all work, because that just creates opinions and obstructions. But just to sort of let it be there. Don't take it personally. See where we get caught in judgment or hurt feelings or whatever it might be. And remember, as the Buddha said, this is not me, this is not mine, I am not this. There isn't really a me or a mine in the picture. It just feels as though there is. And if you can just relinquish the grip a little bit by considering those things, just coming back to them, reflecting on them, it's really helpful. We don't get so caught up in our hurt feelings or our anger or our self-justification or our whatever it might be, or our joy in winning the Olympics. All of this takes place. All these little thoughts and feelings that we have, it all takes place within something much bigger than us. Something bigger than me. Do I exist? Do I not exist? There's something a whole lot bigger. It all takes place within. That which is greater than we are. All our little grievances and our joys and sorrows and all that and worries, it all takes place within that much bigger thing. And all we have to do is to entrust ourselves to that. And when you remember that and turn towards it, it puts everything in perspective, you know. I don't have to get all bent out of shape because I feel misjudged or misthinged. Just, so what? So what? You know. Life is too short to carry resentment. Just let it go. Whether it's for good or for ill, whether it's the joyful things or the not so joyful things. Not to push it away, but not to carry it around, and not to make it me, not to take it personally. Because in a sense, nothing is meant personally, you know. You may think it is, people may see me as a Meian, but really, there isn't a Meian here, you know. There's this temporary collection of aggregates, skandhas, and just trying to do its best, and someone's making a pig's ear of it. If I can kind of bear that in mind, somewhat, I don't have to think about it all the time, but now and then to consider, especially when we're upset, you know, or we've done something we wish we hadn't, to learn from it, but not to make it us, not to make it our story, our history. I am this person who did this dreadful thing. I'm the person this dreadful thing happened to. We don't have to take our life personally. A wonderful thought. Don't take your life personally. How wonderful, how liberating. Just simply to do the best we can, moment by moment, thought after thought, with whatever comes our way. And keep turning back toward that, the great matter. With all our imperfections, we're completely part of it. And there's nothing we can do about that. We're completely part of it, and we can totally entrust ourselves to it. Nothing separate, nothing different, nothing outside it, nothing unworthy. We're all part of that, whether we like it or not. And that's our talk for the day. Thank you.